Mr. van der Ham, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sam.
How wonderful that you would like to be here with us today.
Yeah, delighted.
We had to think about, okay, who are we going to ask for a good interview, somebody who's done a lot of different things in life, and we kind of agreed straight away, Mr. van der Ham it is. Well, you're a teacher here since 2021.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I came from Shanghai. It was a bit of a whirlwind as I was living during the Corona period in Shanghai, and it was kind of scary and exciting and liberating when other parts of the world were closed, and in China actually you were able to travel within the country. My sister felt after nearly 28 years, that it was time to come home. Mm-hmm. So then you listen to your family, because that's my closest blood person in my family. I lost my mom and dad at the beginning when I was studying in the hotel school in The Hague. So I said, yes, okay, let's try to find a job. I was the Dean of Undergraduate Studies in La Roche, which is another education brand in hospitality management out of Switzerland. And I decided, okay, let's have a look what is in the Dutch scope.
Yep.
And the hotel school Maastricht had a position open as senior lecturer. And I believe there were about 55 people who applied for this job. I went through several interviews and they said, you're ready to rock and roll. Are you willing to come? So I jumped on the plane, I think somewhere on the 22nd of July, and on the 15th of August, I started my new job here in Maastricht. I look back on a very great 2 years being in the school, being involved in many different subjects. So I teach in Module 1. Yeah. I do Module 3, I did this time for one go. I did Module 5, Module 6, Module 9, Module 10, as well as the Module Coordinator for Module 1. Internship students, operational ones, I help. I have at the moment some people in Japan and in Singapore and in beautiful Antwerp. And I have then 2 corridors in the residence to be the community coach. So quite a full package. A lot of different things to do, yeah.
And why did you want to go to Shanghai in China?
I've always been fascinated by the Far East. I think it started when I went for my corporate management traineeship with Hyatt International. When I finished the hotel school on the other side of the country in 1987. Mm-hmm. I was interviewed by Hyatt International, and they said, we think you could be a general manager, and we would like to offer you the corporate management trainee program after school. And would you be willing to go to Hong Kong? And the moment I set foot in Hong Kong and the day that I left after 7 years, I felt very sad that I was so happy in the Far East. I'm just crazy about the outdoor life. I am fascinated by the Asian food. I am also quite fascinated about the way on how the Asians go about hospitality, that level of service which comes really out of their heart, out of their DNA. Has taken me then to the decision, hey, I need to go to China. Mm-hmm. I want to experience China. I've only read about it, I had a lot of judgments about it.
Can imagine.
And living and being there and seeing it yourself, then I can understand some of my judgments. Mm-hmm. But I think to be and see what is going on in terms of technology and how China is taking the forefront also in developing like transportation projects, like putting up big train tracks throughout China to make everybody accessible. It's just it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, it is. Incredible step forward. As you have lived in China for so long and also Hong Kong, would you advise other students to go to China?
I think abroad, if you are a hospitality management school student, I think it is a must that you must go overseas. In this world in which we live, where everybody is intercultural, I think it is a must that you can understand on how to see, how to work it with a system which is not like in Holland. So I think it brings you a great advantage because you become so much more worldly. Mm-hmm. And I think to be a worldly citizen nowadays is of advantage to you when you come back to the Netherlands. And you can see even myself after 28 years, I have come back to the Netherlands and live in comfort, I guess. Because there are some challenges, right? If you go abroad, like, in China, when I was living in Shanghai, I had only a reasonable allowance for my housing. But that means that I lived in a housing estate with only Chinese, right? And so people would stare at you and people would giggle at you. Because you are, by the end of the day, you're a white man, you're a white ghost. So as the Hong Kong Chinese say, you're a guaylo. That is kind of peculiar about that.
What would be your advice to students who want to make a career in the hospitality industry?
I think what I hear during these past 2 years is that A lot of students believe already very quickly you can become a manager. And I think we have to realize that when you start in the hotel business, and I think it is highly advisable to go in this business because it brings you in unique situations in unique places around the world. You have to build up your level of knowledge. You have to build up respect within the company. And I think once you have shown the companies that you're willing to work hard and that you have shown your respect, and if you like to work internationally, as I said, within hotel business, you can change every 2 or 3 years like I did. So I think, you have to be patient and you have to show that you are willing to work hard and that you can do the right thing, and then the company will look after you. Because I think, if you look at business in general, people always still travel.
Yeah.
People always go eat somewhere, people always will need a hotel. Doesn't matter if it's first 1 star or 5 stars, right? There will all be opportunities for traveling. So I think this always has, there's a job for us.
Yes.
So yeah, I think my advice would be, work hard, take the opportunities which are there for you, and dare to go overseas, and then to go out of your comfort zone. But I had a lot of things in my backpack to help me to do the job every day. So I got my experience from Intercontinental, I got then my experience from Four Seasons, and then I crowned it off with the Hyatt stuff as well. So that is a very good combination of being ready to take on such a challenging job as a general manager, because a lot of people think that it is easy peasy being a GM of a hotel, huh? But it's like taking care of a big family, but then on a basis that you have to make money with it as well. And I think sometimes in school we forget that this is all about making money. And I think the last piece of advice is that I think we must be well aware that the owners are very shrewd nowadays on how you are looking after their assets and how you can make it the best, most profitable place. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now I have 5 questions, like small, quick fire questions.
Quick answers.
And you can only answer with 1 word.
Oh gosh.
And then when we're done, you can come back to one of the questions I asked.
Yeah.
And we can elaborate.
Okay.
Okay.
So out of the 5, God.
First question. What is your favorite country in the world, apart from the Netherlands?
Italy.
Best city you've ever been to?
Hong Kong.
What is the best hotel you've ever stayed in?
Georges V in Paris.
What is your favorite cocktail?
Cosmopolitan with Kettle One.
Favorite childhood song?
Father Abraham, but the song name I don't know.
I'm gonna add a 6th question. If you got one thing, I don't like the word bucket list because it seems like it's gonna be over very soon, but let's use it for now. What is the thing that you would like to do?
I would like to continue working more on my art I make, yeah.
Okay.
That's something I really would like to explore more, yeah.
From these 6 questions, what question would you like to elaborate on?
I think I like to elaborate on the Four Seasons.
Okay.
I think for me, having finished my days at Hyatt and then going to the Ritz-Carlton Chicago in the US, which at that time was the only Four Seasons with the Ritz-Carlton name, I was mesmerized by how Four Seasons approach to Four Seasonize all the employees within 3 months. With their magic, I think nearly like Walt Disney, their magic of making all Four Seasons employees to be all tuned in on deliver the best guest service and the guest experience. Fantastic, really absolutely fantastic. I had the chance because those days Four Seasons offered also that we would have complimentary nights, and I was going back from Chicago to Europe, so I told my sister, let's go to Paris and let's go and stay at the Four Seasons Georges V. We walked into the lobby and there was Lionel Richie. Yeah, Lionel Richie, of course, is a huge artist. And in Chicago, when my sister came to visit me, Lionel Richie was in the pre-program of Tina Turner's concert, which I took my sister also to at the United Center.
And when was this?
This is going back to 2001. And of course in Four Seasons, besides them creating amazing guest experiences, I also have met some of the most incredible people in the art world. Madonna was one of my guests. I've looked after many different properties. I was very fortunate that Michael Jackson was my guest in 2 times in my career. That's a fun part of doing an international job at a high level. So yeah, I can highly recommend that for people to explore.
Yeah. To round it off, would you ever like to go back to the hospitality industry? And then I mean in the field? Or would you like to stay here?
I think we have to learn to accept that in life we are also on this beautiful curve.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess where I am at the moment in my life, I think I'm very grateful for this opportunity. And do I look back at the industry with a fond heart? Yes. Even nowadays when I go to hotels and restaurants, I still have my mood. I can see things and nitpicking, and but to work on that, no. I think I would not have any more that same level of energy, which it takes a very big dedication to do this extremely well. So I think the energy I rather use, to be an educator at this moment. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you. We'd like to have you stay around for a bit. Thank you for your time, sir.
Cheers. Thank you.
And enjoy the sun.
Thank you. Cheers.